The open book, where every voice matters, every story got layers, and every conversation opens something new. Turn the page, 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 turn the page. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every story got meaning, every perspective shows. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Late night talks with the smooth bass knocking, whole room tuned when the topics dropping. Authors, culture, real life views, open book vibes bring a whole new groove. No fake energy when the dialogue starts. Different perspectives play a major part. From page to podcast, the vibes stay deeper. Real conversations every single week. Welcome to the open book, where the real conversations flow. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every story got meaning, every perspective show. Turn the page, turn the page, turn the page. Every chapter different. Every voice got purpose. Every voice got purpose. Turn the page.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone is having a fabulous Friday. It is almost time for the weekend, baby. Okay. Make sure y'all tap that like button. It is for free. Let everyone know that we are live on this Friday morning with a few updates. Now, y'all, let me also say that this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Now, as of yesterday, and I did put this on my community wall as I get information, there was breaking news that the official first autopsy report has been completed for Nolan Wells. Okay. Ooh, Lord, my nerves. Now, that autopsy was completed by the medical examiner there, Stacy Turner. Okay. So we're going to get into the details of that because it is stated that those results will not be released to the public at this time, but will go to a grand jury and hopefully the family. Now, this morning, we're going to hear from Ben Crump and his parents, Nolan's parents, as they are traveling, but they were on Don Lemon for a quick interview, sharing some things. And so we'll tap into that. And then looking at the time, if anyone would like to come up and share your thoughts about anything, you're welcome to come up on the panel as well today. All right, let's see who we have here so far. Hey, T. Smith, welcome, sis, and thank you for being first in the building. Hi, HGY is in the building as well. Detective London, thank you so much for joining, sis. Hey, LaQuinta, good morning, welcome. Brown Eye Girl is in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Queen Shailene, good morning. Hey, Teresa, good morning. Thank you for joining. Shamika is in the building. Okay, come on, my people coming on through. Philly Girl Jules, good morning, sis. Thank you for joining. Is Stephanie in the building? Come on down. Look, like the price is right. Okay. Hey, Mama Magazine. Hey, Queen. Thank you for tapping in. Inspiration is in the building. Hey, Protected 91. Welcome, sis. Hey, Jane. She said, good morning. Nolan Wells was murdered by his fake friends because fighting while doing drugs and drunk. Hope we all will learn, just like MJ's song, they don't care about us. Okay. Thank you for that. Hey, Janet, welcome. Good morning, Danita. Thank you for joining this morning. Let's see. Hey, Hanada, good morning. Let's see here. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Patrice, the queen, is in the building as well. Shout out to OPB Media. Welcome to the open book. Hey, Clarinetta, welcome. Tamika is in the building. My girl T-Lady Boogie. Come on down. All the mods are in the building. Let's go. Okay, so if the grand jury votes a true bill, who exactly will be indicted? Okay, that's a good question. Okay, we're gonna get to that. That's a very good question. Let's see here. They said hit that like button, double tap that screen. Hey, Crystal, welcome. Let's see. I think I'm almost to the end. Okay, and phenomenal Scorpio. Good morning, sis. Welcome, 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 everyone. I thank you all for tuning in this morning. We're gonna go over a few things. Hey, Angel. Good morning. I'm glad that y'all were getting the notification. I know some people were having problems with that. I was suggesting to someone what you could do, because someone tried it, is unclick the bell and then click it back and click all. And so that may help as well, with the not getting notifications. Okay. Hey, Crystal, welcome. All right. So let's get into it. Now, yesterday, y'all, Nolan Wells' official state autopsy was completed. Okay. Now, the results of the autopsy, which was conducted by the state medical examiner's office in Mississippi, have not yet been made public. Once the investigation is complete, the case materials, including the autopsy report, will be presented to a grand jury, which will decide whether what happened to Nolan Wells involved a crime. Okay. Now, this is the thing with that. Okay. We already know we're at the point. Hey, Delta Roots, good morning. Conversation Radio. Thank you all for coming on in. Now, we already know that right now they're currently in the active investigation phase. Okay. Now, what we don't know, because we know that this audio, I should say, I keep saying video, the audio has been released from CETO, right? That is a part of the investigation. Now, the thing of it is, they have to now have experts go through that call, make sure it is authentic, nothing has been added, it's not AI or any of that. In which my thing is, are y'all questioning y'all's own agencies? That's what I want to know, because the director of the MDMR was appointed by the governor. I looked that up yesterday. So are y'all not trusting what they're putting out there? That is, to me, that's weird. How do y'all have agencies that y'all work with and y'all not believing what's on their website? No one is you don't have to go with any video that anyone else is releasing. Just get it off of their website. So for them to not have enough trust to be like, oh, okay, we're gonna believe what they put out, that speaks volumes in itself, that y'all not on one accord in Mississippi, in my opinion. Okay. Hey, we're going to talk about that. Hey, Nurse M. Hey, Buttercup. We're going to talk about that Delta Roots. You already know. You already know. That speaks volumes that they don't believe the audio that is on the MDMR website. You can clearly hear it, the background, when you tune into it. See, the thing of it is, in the beginning with that audio, a lot of people were not paying attention, myself included, to the background. We just thinking they're back there talking or whatever. But it wasn't until the dead air, the whole call, where you could hear, them talking in the beginning, the music. And you're like, wait a second, they were talking before the lady came on. So once we started hearing that, then that's when we were like, okay, that's when folks were able to separate the background from Vicky, in the call, the operator, and so forth. And so that's when it was clear to us, not to say it wasn't already there. Okay. It was already there. But see, you have people with selective hearing that don't want to hear it. So then it's like, this is fake, or this is AI, this is made up, and it goes into a whole other thing. So now they're having to do that. So this is, to me, what I'm thinking is going to be a potential holdup, because who knows how long they're going to hide under the guise of we're doing our investigation. Because the longer you prolong the investigation part, the longer you're prolonging the grand jury part, because They need all of the information once, everything is complete with that investigation. Okay. So how long is it going to be before they wrap this thing up? Seems like every day is something new with this case. Okay. We got the B man, Mr. Simpson, the Simpson man. He out here giving a list of 20 witnesses. Well, that should have been done in the beginning. But yet and still, who is calling in names of people who allegedly were not there? That was wasting the MDMR's time back then when they had that official report and they told who they investigated and went and talked to and so forth. But one girl, Lady Naquin, she said she hadn't even seen Nolan in a whole year. But we got people out here doing foolishness, false calls, all of this stuff. And then now people want to offer rewards. So it's like every day is something new. And it prolongs this whole case. You got to weed through what's true and what's false. They make me nervous, cloaked in all their secrecy. I'm pretty certain I'm not going to like anything they say because we've experienced in real time their dishonesty and ignorance. Okay, Stephanie Clockett. That phone call was discovered by a Black female who was an expert at this issue, asked by Nolan's mother. Well, hey, Dusty, good morning. I will say this, y'all. This is the order that I saw it, okay, because no one was talking about the audio at one point. The only reason I really kind of got into it, we talked about it over here, is because I did see it on Plunder True Crime's channel. She had did a FOIA request, got the audio, and I said, oh, y'all, look, there is actual dispatch call out here. We had listened to the dispatch call here as well. No one was talking about the audio at that time, right? So then all of a sudden, more people started listening to it, I guess. And that's when that night, when I heard the video someone put out, was a little short of the whole time before Vicky started talking. And I'm like, wait a second, we hadn't heard the whole call, because when Plunder True Crime, when she shared it, we didn't hear a lot of that whole beginning part, right? So now that was something new. Once we started, that came out, bam, it just opened up a whole thing. So then it went from there to then people started being able to separate it. Chronicle Speaks, then the other Jeanette lady. Okay. And then we started hearing TMZ and the mainstream media. So that's the whole way of this being released. Then Cito put it on their website, but Plunder had it before it was released on their website to the public. She had already done a FOIA request for the audio. So that's what I'm saying. That was from a legit place. They sent that to her. It wasn't anything that she made up, but all these bigger platforms like the news and things like that, they hadn't put that out first. They didn't put, I hadn't gotten any of that from them. Yeah. So they can stop it. Is it a crime? Clearly a crime, and God working this out, and trust and believe God bringing. Okay, come on now. Shout out to a Mama Magazine for the jewels. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Patrice said no transparency from Mississippi from the beginning. Okay, come on now. Hey, Roger. Crystal, yes, God is for us despite others against us. Come on. We are a unique protection project of the most holy. Yes. T. Smith said that has happened to me before. I had to unsubscribe and unsubscribe, subscribe, and then reset the notifications. Exactly. Clarinetta said they're not going to have a choice when being let them experts analyze the audio. Exactly. Hey, Shay Shay. The more time they have to hide stuff. Exactly. Like, my thing is, how much longer? Look, okay. All of this happened July 4th weekend. They found Nolan's body July 6th. But what did we say? We had already clocked it, y'all. We said they're going to take their time with this autopsy, okay? It's almost a month later. Next week is August 1st, or this weekend is August 1st, okay? So next week would have made a whole month. Remember, I said they have 4 to 12 weeks. Now, I don't know if the toxicology going to be included with that, because they're saying autopsy. So I know usually when they send out that information publicly, like if they were to release it publicly, it would come with the autopsy report, it would come with the diagram, it would come with the toxicology report. So I am not sure of if they have already completed the toxicology report part 2. No one will be charged in Nolan Wells' murder case. Ben and Nolan's parents did an interview. Yes, we're going to tap into some of that. Yes. Mr. Simpson filing the missing persons report before the moms know that Nolan is missing. Okay, come on now. He won't, not Simpson part. Won't be going to the big league. He'll be going to the big house. Hey, Bird, shout out to Des D for the jewels. Thank you so much, sis, and thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. They've had that recording day one. They knew exactly what it said, but the world's focus was on the demon's boat and the boat. They honestly hoped the recording would have been missed. Oh, Stephanie, come on now. Okay, you are so right about that. You are so right. They knew what was on there. Yes, they knew what was on that audio report, all of that. They had access to that. That's one of their own agencies. Okay. You was first people didn't believe you. Come on, London. Will you clock it? Because baby, I had people all under the video, all in my chat that night. They were like, well, I don't believe this because no other media or channels are playing this. I don't care what other channels playing. Not everybody playing it. Okay, please don't do that. I'm glad I have a witness, and like I said, I'm gonna always give props to the person that I got it from. Okay, I didn't do a FOIA request, but I can say even before TMZ and mainstream media and the Nancy Graces and all of that. Before any of them had that and was playing it, Plunder True Crime played that audio, that dispatch audio, and she went through it. She has all of it. They sent her all of the dispatch over the course of those days. She had to go in and pull out, because remember, y'all, it was other scanner information too. Oh, nobody is even talking about the scanner information. Nobody has even talked about that. Okay, I think only her channel, and I think maybe us that have actually gone through and listened to the scanner. Because if you put the scanner together with Warren's story, you put it all together, the GPS data, all of that. Okay, that's going to tell a story for this case. Nobody has brought up what was being said on the scanner. Have y'all noticed that? But she's played that over there weeks ago. So she had to go through and pull what was relevant to Nolan's case, because it's all kind of things that were going on that day. So shout out to her. You know, like, I'm not going to not give people their props because she did that, you know. Hey, Karen Michelle, welcome. Hey, Smiley, Queen's Den. Almighty God, the blood is crying out. Yes. Okay. Hey, HD, everything she said. Thank you for catching me up. Okay. Jane said it pisses me off, took out Nolan's organs, heart, throat, and lungs, and I refuse to give to the FBI. Okay, right. This is not distracting anybody. This is happening in the earth, but heaven is already moving on this case. Right. Jesus, we cry out for justice for all. I agree. You can't fool God. Okay, come on. I think Nolan did the drinking, but did not want to do the C. So his fake friend, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see. Yeah, you've been right. Exactly. The Queen's Den. A lot of people. Hey, Deidre, welcome everyone coming on in. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the bottom. I ain't trying to get too out of the Nancy Grace has the audio, but MDMR cut it out. Oh, they did? Oh, yes. Thank you, Nurse M. Thank you. There's a video, y'all, that this lady, I believe her name is Nerdy Pink, is it Panther, on TikTok, and she is you can tell she must love math and data, because she lit up, child. But she was talking so fast, but I was kind of peeping some things that she was saying, and based off of some of her research, she found out that allegedly the coordinates that were given on the call are different from the coordinates on the actual report. Okay, it would have put them two different places. Now, she also clocked that the grandfather, Mr. Ackerson, is the owner of an ocean marine group place, and that they sell boats. And so they know the ins and outs of boats. She stated on her video, and I'm going to pull it up today, that it's possible to go in and change things. Now, my thing was this: if someone allegedly fooled with the coordinates, is it possible that someone could fool around with the GPS data? Okay, because I don't put nothing past nobody in this case. Were those the real places they went? Is it possible to go in and tweak things? Because we're starting to see a pattern of things coming up different from what people are saying. We put people in it that wasn't here, calls being made, calls not being made. I'm second guessing a call Warren did, all of that. Okay, because y'all have not put us in a place of trust anyways, not being truthful on everything and no transparency. But I was like, man, that is so weird. Because you know what? I'm going to start with that video. And then we're going to get into the grand jury and talk more about this autopsy. Right, Clarinetta, I feel that. I feel it was some stuff being put out there to try to cover up some things. Okay, give me 1 second. Baby, she has a whole she got a whole board. Okay, she taking notes. She is not playing around. I said, wait a minute. First of all, because the first person I saw the video with is okay. The first person I saw the video with, they had sped it up. Well, they didn't need to speed her up. She's already talking. I'm like, no, wait a second. I can't keep up. But I was trying to keep up. You know, it was like she was saying some good stuff. So let me share it with y'all. Her name is on TikTok, Nerdy Pink Panda #1. Okay. And shout out to Karen Michelle for the super chat. She said, OB, remind me, didn't they keep the brain behind too? No. No. But she did not do a dissection of the back of his head properly. So he had to do it, the independent medical examiner. This is why I don't really trust this lady's work, because you don't know the proper dissections to make. I'm questioning your credibility in your work. Okay. So anything that comes out anyway, we're going to question anyways, because of how they're moving in that place. I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to question everything. And then hopefully the independent medical examiner will go over her work. Okay. And see what's on that paper, if it's legit and can match, okay, what he found and so forth. Like, y'all, this is not going to be anything that's going to be simple. It's not going to be quick. Like, we already see how long it took her to get the doggone autopsy completed, a whole month. And we don't even know if that means toxicology. The doggone investigation, we don't even know how long they're going to prolong this, because they know it has to go to a grand jury. Okay, they're going to look over everything. So it's a lot of moving parts in this. This is so crazy. Oh, and then we're going to hear today, like it was stated on mainstream media and some of those outlets, oh, they're supposed to present this to the grand jury and the family today. The family said they don't even have a meeting until next week with the DA. So what are y'all talking about? They have not been given any autopsy reports yet. So all of these little outlets out here trying to make them look like they doing the right thing and all of that, please stop. Y'all need to get the right information and quit trying to make it look like they're using fidelity and integrity and stuff like that. No, they're trying to prolong this thing out. They're trying to not show everyone and all of that. Shout out to Erica for the jewels. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you, Karen Michelle. She said they better DNA test the autopsy samples. Okay. Because the way they're moving. All right, let's get into this.
The Nolan Wells timeline. I know how they mess with the GPS. I figured it all out. I figured out the lies that are based in truth. I figured it all out, and I've got proof. But stick with me because it's going to be a long video, y'all. Now, I found a 15-page Marine Patrol report that had lots of little details that prove that the boys had been lying. So I've already shown how at 1:30 in the morning, the initial Lieutenant Odom with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office said that his deputies spoke with several of the friends who traveled to the island on the vessel with Nolan. And they said that he left in the company of an unknown female and that he chose to remain on the island.
So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police? Or?
Yeah, so the first time I talked to police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator, and I told him my whole story, top to bottom. Area I crossed every T. I told everything I knew, every little detail.
Well, that's a lie now, isn't it, Warren? Because you talked to them at 1:30 in the morning that night. I mean, did you just forget to tell the cops about Katie? Because it's not like you didn't know it was her or you didn't know how to get in contact with her.
The girl he was with had texted somebody that she heard people yelling.
Correct.
Yelling.
Yeah, and I have a picture of that. She texted somebody, and the next day, everybody's panicking. Everybody's texting Katie. She was obviously seeing Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat.
But Katie says that she assumed that she went on the boat after y'all were yelling at him. And let's not forget that the last time you saw him was 3.
Well, Nolan was the last time I saw Nolan.
Yeah, and that's something, y'all. And I was wondering too, because that statement from Katie, London say pause because she be talking fast. Right, exactly. Hey Joy. Now the statement from Katie, I guess I'm confused too about that, because that was when all of this started, but a lot of people are starting to talk about that right now. Salute, welcome, Lockbox in. Thank you so much for tuning in. The highest point. Welcome everyone, Pilot J. Okay, why is this? Do y'all know why this is coming out? Like it's new news with the whole Gracie McCormick post? I guess because I was wondering, had I missed something with it? Because that was out when all of this had first started. Okay, so I was wondering why all of a sudden, but nevertheless, I had shared that post on my community wall, and there were certain things that Katie had said that I was questioning because she didn't seem for sure. She said assumed. Okay, so you don't seem for sure if you're assuming. And then also you're saying you got on a boat with some more people. She never said who. And then she put friends. Gracie put friends in quotations. She never said which friends. So that's questionable. And Katie has yet to answer those questions. Now, there are some pictures that are out right now. Katie and some timestamps. See, these people playing games, and some of this stuff I'm not even sure because I'm not playing the game with y'all. Okay. First of all, we don't even know what that means. If you're sharing some pictures with some doggone times, and I don't care if it shows the same date, what does that mean? Where was Nolan during that time? You're showing us trying to clear yourself, but you're not answering vital questions unless you tell us whose boat you're on, what launch you were going to, okay? Who picked you up? You told us who, where did they pick you up from? And then which friend group did Nolan get on a boat with? Did you see it with your own eyes, or are you still assuming stuff? Because we're not playing this game. Some of these games they want to play, I'm not going to even show it on my platform because y'all are playing games. I ain't got time to play with no kids in their little games. Okay, y'all want to sporadically put stuff out here, but y'all not trying to put out anything that's leading to the truth. I don't care about your little pictures and you playing on some boat. I don't know whose boat that is. The question was, whose boat did you leave Horn Island with? And which boat launch did you go to? Those are the questions we have. Okay, and whose boat did you see, or is it still assuming, or have you yet reach a point of certainty that it was on the boat? Because we still trying to figure that out. You still on the list, okay? Because all these little games, all these little pictures she want to show now, all of a sudden, then you got people, oh, I saw Nolan 6 o'clock. Y'all ain't seen Nolan nowhere. Where's the picture in the text? I'm sick of it. Okay, I'm sick of it. Everybody want to change stuff all of a sudden. Child, right. Karen, I ain't got time. I'm sick of playing with these little kids. I almost forgot how grown I was. I ain't playing with these kids no more. Y'all need to come on out and tell the truth. Okay, enough is enough. I ain't sharing that. I don't want to share a picture. I'm sick of them. All right, let's continue until you can answer some real legit questions. Child, I don't want to care about no pictures. You on a boat?
It was 3 o'clock. And Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms.
And yet, for some reason, around noon, the name of another girl who hadn't even seen Nolan in a year was given to the patrol to go interview, saying that she was with that group, not Katie. They also gave the name of a couple of other friends who they weren't able to get in contact with. And despite a picture of a text message from Katie, funny how you didn't share that with Officer Tatum. Probably could have cleared up some stuff real quick, right? Now let's get to the date.
Oh, she is so she's so excited about the date. Girl, I am. And thank you so much, London. Oh my God, I appreciate that, sis. I'm sick of them. Like, seriously. Okay, child, when she said, let's get to the data. I used to have math teachers like that, child. They get excited. Okay. Now the thing of it is, who's playing games? Okay. Who is playing games with the MDMR people? Because a couple of the people they didn't get a chance to talk to. Okay, one was not at home, and they said no contact was made. So did the Jackson County sheriffs go back and talk to those 2 people? And then my question is still, who was the person that gave Laney's name to them? Y'all should have record of that, because if somebody lying, okay, somebody is lying. Either she was truly there and she lying, saying she was on another island, or else the person who called to give y'all that information is lying, and y'all need to find out why are they lying, putting another person there that was not there. That's wasting detectives' time. Okay, so who's lying in that particular instance, we haven't gotten to. This case should have been treated just like we saw on the TV show First 48. There was too much time for these guys to eliminate evidence and solidify their storylines. Right. Yeah. That's true. If I could take my belt off and go to Ocean Springs. Okay, well, say, hey, I'm going to get some answers. Bring back Scared Straight. If y'all don't come forward, y'all going to jail for 30 years. Okay, hey, Lock Vegan. She said, oh, we went into mind mode. I'm not playing these little kids. I'm not. Okay, child, I am not. ADHD, stay focused. Okay, let's just stay focused. Y'all, if y'all feel like somebody trolling, I just be laughing, and I start seeing that and I block it out, because we got to stay focused. Now, I don't think that person has been disrespectful. So please just, hey, let's keep the focus. And we start seeing too much going on, though. Okay, so you're good. But now, just, everybody can share their opinion, their thoughts if it differs. Let's do it respectfully. Let's not start focusing on everybody. Okay, what everybody else saying. Focus on what you're saying, and then we're gonna keep it, cool in here. Yes, check the front. We have someone knocking. Y'all silly. Shout out to that one. Thank you for the super chat and for being a sponsor. Arrest them all, then someone will start talking. Exactly. Okay. Hey, Sonia. Exactly, because without Crump, a lot of these cases would still will be stalled. And be deemed as accidents. You're right about that. Okay, you're right about that. They got the story together way before they called the mom. Yeah. Hey, Brajay, welcome. All right, let's continue.
Now, at about 1:30 on July 5th, they were doing a flight of drones based on the relation of the last known anchor position of the Atkinson vessel, which I have documented right here.
Child, y'all see this?
Contact message from Katie. Funny how you didn't share that with Officer Tatum. Probably could have cleared up some stuff real quick, right? Now let's get to the data. Now, at about 1:30 on July 5th, they were doing a flight of drones based on the relation of the last known anchor position of the Atkinson vessel, which I have documented.
Okay, y'all, she has a whole chart. She's not playing with them. Okay, when I tell you she needs to be on the investigative team, somebody said Crump, I keep saying Crump, get in touch with this lady. She has it mapped out on a board. She is not playing with them. Okay, so you could tell she's probably one of the math, math, because she calls herself nerdy, pink panda. So she probably loves numbers. She's looking deep into this. Okay, so she's not playing with them.
Right here, 4:30, Officer Strickland contacted Jennifer Pyrone, who was Wyatt's mother, who told them that he had already spoken to officers earlier in that day, but they were happy to cooperate with any investigation. And she let this officer take a picture of the GPS. Officer Strickland observed the track line showing Pyrone's vessel location on Horn Island, then gave coordinates. I'm going to need you to remember this exact phrasing. It's going to be important later on. This was the GPS coordinates from the picture that the officer took, meaning that these coordinates had to be a different one that was verbally given over the phone by Wyatt. And you'll notice.
So when they went to take pictures of the coordinates, it was different than the coordinates that Wyatt gave over the phone. Are y'all clocking that? Okay. So I was like, wait a second, because she was talking fast. I said, let me try to keep up because I'm trying to understand. Okay, King Black. King Black said it's time for them to go start kicking them doors in again. Oh my God, my spirit's telling me he got the number out of Nolan's phone. That's what I'm wondering. He's saying he called. Now Javon would have to confirm that. I never heard Javon say that he gave Warren any phone number, but I don't know.
They're quite different. Now you'll notice that this incident report says the involved entities are Bart Edmington and Jerry Adkerson, not Wyatt. Even though Wyatt is 18, he should be on this report. And you can argue.
Oh my gosh, y'all, this made me think of Lulu in the Tyrone Davis case. Okay, the people who make calls or who was there, their names are mysteriously left off of incident reports. Why is that? Okay, in the Tyrone Davis case, Lulu, it was her car that he allegedly jumped out of. But lo and behold, Lulu's name was nowhere on the police report. Well, Wyatt was the one that made the phone call. Yes, grandfather called as well, but why get rid of that call and that information from Wyatt? That was a very good point. Okay, his name should have been on that report.
That they were just giving the names of the people that owned the boats, but somehow I doubt that 21-year-old Bart owns that boat. You'll notice on this report that two different pieces of GPS evidence were collected. So now we're going to go to the July 8th report where they came and they took those GPS coordinates from both the Adkerson boat and Bart's boat. Yellow is Bart, blue is the grandfather, Jerry. You know, the same Jerry that called and canceled the sea tow as the sea tow phone call was being made. Now, mind you, this is 3 days after the police had come and spoken to the mother and gotten the GPS coordinates. Now, Bart had a germane GPS map chart plotter. Jerry's boat also contained a germane GPS map chart plotter. Now, I had to look up the difference between waypoints, tracks, and routes. So waypoints mark specific spots. Routes connect them in a planned order, and tracks record your actual path. Now, according to that GPS data, there is no movement from 11 to 4:30, but we know that that's not true. Warren has never been able to logically explain how they ended up so far away from the shore. Because according to him, he said at 3 o'clock, that was the last time he saw Nolan. Bart was trying to yell at him to get on the boat. His brother got into a fight, so he got his brother to come over there. That's when he saw that it was all sinking, because he said this.
There's a lot of people on, so it drags water in. And eventually, I think over time, we were out there for a couple hours. The boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater.
Yes, but according to Warren, he had just seen Nolan like neck deep cradling a girl at the boat next to them. So how did they end up in 31 feet of water at the 4 o'clock call? There's an hour in between that. If the battery is submerged, how would they even get away from the sandbar? You can see in the background of this picture, they are far away.
Now look at that. Now the officer thought he was doing something, but he just proving her point. They're further out. Remember, he did a video. Okay, he shared a little video talking about, see, there's Nolan right there in the water. Remember, he did that video from somebody on the boat panning, and there are people in the water. That's different than right here on this picture. Yes, on that video, they were actually closer then. But from this view on this picture, they're further out. Those are two different things going on. So yeah, he probably did have that video when they were still kind of close with the other boats and so forth. But see, this picture here is proving her point. They were further out. Okay, they were not close to those other boats. So see, I don't think he thought anybody was going to make that connection.
Away from people. And yet this GPS is saying that you were stationary the whole time. But why? Especially because we have actual fucking proof right here. We have the coordinates that Wyatt's mom gave them the second time, and the cop took a picture of the GPS. Compare it to the GPS coordinates in which they were trying to get a tow from. But what if I were to tell you that not only does a waypoint need to be physically saved on this exact type of GPS, you have to intentionally say, mark this spot, or else it doesn't automatically save. It records your tracks automatically, but those are just saved coordinates. And it turns out you can actually delete tracks. It's super easy. You just go into the main menu and you delete it off of your data. So why is this GPS data, which is right here, so much further away than what the GPS says it is later? There is no data included in that GPS report that explains them going from here to here, unless someone went in and deleted those tracks, because they probably dropped that waypoint once they anchored, which would explain why Warren said they showed up at 10:30 and the GPS says that they showed up after 11. And so then it wasn't until half an hour after the canceled GPS was used in both boats, and Wyatt/Jerry's boat has the tracks and routes where Bart's does not. And again, it tracks it automatically. So you have to intentionally delete those tracks. And why did they do that? Well, it turns out Jerry Atkinson just so happens to be the owner of Ocean Marine Group in Ocean Springs and Gulfport, which is literally a boat dealer. So guess who's going to know that?
Uh-oh. She done went and found out what old Jerry, the grandfather, owns, baby, the boats. Now, why are we not hearing about that third boat? Somebody said that in the chat. That's London. She said there were 3 boats. Okay, so the Simpson man, he was on one. Okay, Jerry on the other. Why is the third boat? Where is that boat, y'all? It's not involved in any of this. They all left together, but they didn't come back together. Why is the Palm Beach boat not mentioned? I'm still trying to understand that. What time did they leave? Coming back? Who was all on that boat? Because we still trying to figure out, was it possible that Nolan could have been on that boat? Come on now. 3 left, but 2 came back. Well, when did the other one come back? Shout out to Ann. Thank you for the jewels and for being a sponsor. So they purposely left them out of the report. Okay. Where is the third boat? We have a mystery boat. We don't know any of that boat's movements. Just like I said yesterday, when we were kind of listening back to Warren's whole story about them leaving. Well, when we actually was listening to it, he never said Nolan went to the boat launch with them. He said they went and got breakfast. They even went to his house. He drove one boat over to the boat launch. But who picked up Nolan? How did Nolan get from the house that y'all spent the night at over to the boat launch? Was he supposed to ride back with that person? Because everybody left Nolan. How was Nolan supposed to get back to his car? I mean, come on, yeah, like certain things, I don't think they thought through, because his car and keys were still at the house, right? Okay. So that means he would have rode there with someone. Who did he ride with to the actual boat launch? And who was he supposed to ride back with once y'all got back to get back to the house to get his car and his keys? So where's the third boat? Because, right, They're only mentioning 2 boats and not the third. Warren mentions 3 boats. Hey, Latte. Hey, sis. Okay. Watch how she show how close Wyatt was to the other boat while on the phone with the dispatcher. Okay. They need to tell the truth and get this off their conscience. Hey, we still trying to figure it out. Who was on the other boat? Because he mentioned 3. But see, in his document, what we've been talking about are the 2 boats. There is 1 boat still not accounted for. If y'all left together, how come y'all did not come back together? Or even if y'all didn't want to come back together, I mean, y'all old enough. Well, what time did that boat come back? And who was on the 3rd boat coming back? Because some of y'all mixed it up. Y'all didn't come back with the same people. Okay. Your love said, Warren said the Palm Beach left before them to go back. Yeah. What time? See, but we don't have, I don't trust everything he says. We don't have any data about that showing coordinates, your movement of that boat or anything. Why is it that they're not looking into the 3rd boat? The police chased 3 boats and caught 1. I believe the 3rd one was the Palm Beach, right? Mm-hmm. Warren said Nolan went to the dock on the Trite and Wyatt with Wyatt. No. I'm saying when they left the house. How did Nolan get from the house to the boat dock? We missing something there. We thought this through yesterday. We still confused because Nolan didn't take his car. So he would have rode. But see, when Warren said him, my buddy, and Wyatt, he never said Nolan, because remember, he was specific and said that Nolan wasn't with him. When they went to get breakfast and he stopped by his house, well, and where was Nolan? Because we saw footage of Nolan getting on the boat. How did Nolan get to the boat dock? And then how was he supposed to get back to his car? Who was he supposed to ride with? Because he had to get there with somebody. His car didn't go. And y'all specifically said he wasn't with y'all when y'all went for breakfast and stuff that morning. So how did he get to the boat launch? So Wyatt had a boat group. B Simp had a boat group. And you think okay, so Warren possibly was on that Palm Beach. But that's the confusing part, y'all, that we got to start focusing on. Where is that 3rd boat? Who all was on that 3rd boat? Why is it not being monitored in this situation if they all left as a group? Because, see, this is the reason why it needs to be monitored. He specifically said it was a group of 20 to 30 of them across 3 boats, not 2. We're only hearing about 2 coming back. What happened to the 3rd boat? If it went ahead, it went ahead. What time? Who was on it? You see what I'm saying? Like something is missing. They're not tracking that boat for some reason. He showed up on his own. They actually weren't wanting Nolan to come with. Yes. How did he? Well, my question is okay. Yes, he wasn't with them to go to breakfast. But in order for him to get from that house where they stayed to the boat launch, he had to have gotten there some way. How? If he was not with Warren, Wyatt, and their buddy, which I'm thinking is the B-man. Okay. Shout out to Simone. Thank you for the jewels and for being a sponsor. Was the dock behind the house? Well, you know what? Remember, Warren said he drove the Palm Beach over. So I don't think that's where they all docked from. They all met up at the grandparents' dock, wherever the grandparents' dock was. He said he got on the Palm Beach and drove it over there. Yes. So that's why I'm wondering, how did Nolan get over there? Okay. That's the question.
information. We already know Grandpa Jerry was in the mix because the only way that he could have canceled the sea tow before it even started to head out is if Wyatt had called Jerry first and Jerry told him to call for a sea tow and then canceled it for him, which would explain why he couldn't give any descriptions of where the water was, how high was it. We know that the sea tow did not bring in the boat. In fact, Bart's mother came on Facebook and said that there are pictures from my son's boat of the boat about to be towed, which is clearly who is about ready to tow them here.
Oh, y'all, that just, you know what? That makes me think even more so that some stuff was set up into motion, the way she breaking this down. So had they called the grandfather first and he could have possibly said call them, but he was already on the phone, then for the mom, because remember I brought this up, was it yesterday? I said, who takes pictures if you're in distress? Who takes pictures of others on the boat if you're in a distress call? So it's almost like they were posing. Because remember when these pictures came out, I was like, it looked like they posing for these photos. Like, for her to mention the photos too. Oh, they have pictures. So did y'all think this through? To get pictures, you make sure you call and make sure y'all take some pictures while y'all there waiting. Come on now. Now that she put it out there like that, that's the part I'm wondering about. Okay. Like, was the pictures, because who does that? And then these are the pictures that they put out now when the audio is now being talked about. All of a sudden, let's drop the photos. You're supposed to be in distress. So you have pictures you were taken and you're waiting to drop certain things. That makes it look like y'all thought that through. I'm going to be honest. That's just my opinion. Okay. And then the mom is bringing up the pictures in the report. Oh, they got in this little post, they got pictures. Y'all up here snapping shots, but this was a whole distress call. Y'all was supposed to be sinking in 31 feet of water, but y'all thought to take pictures. Y'all stop. Hey, take our picture right quick. Come on now. Come on. She breaking this thing down. It made me think of that. Come on.
Wyatt is on the phone. I can tell you 100% that this is not a sinking boat. You can see Bart bringing them in this picture. But Bart was supposedly the one yelling at Nolan to get on the boat, remember? Why would he be yelling at Nolan to get on a boat that's sinking? Unless he was telling Nolan to get on his boat. And Warren accidentally explained what really happened with the engine. Whatever happened with Nolan happened on Bart's boat, allegedly, which is why all of Bart's information was deleted. So here's what happened. Both this one and this one confirmed that there was a fight that broke out on the beach. Started out with him, ended up with Warren's little brother. His uncle says, we gotta go. They hop on a boat and they leave. He grabs his drunk younger brother and says, we're getting out of here too. 3:00. This whole caravan is trying to get the hell out of there because they're drunk and fighting. Wyatt's boat was in such a hurry that they couldn't figure out how to put the freaking trim down, which caused the motor to overheat, quickly stranded them, and Bart had to come help them. The time that Bart shows up, something has happened between him and Nolan. They're all distracted trying to fix the bilge pump because it didn't trim down. The waves were crashing over the boat and into the bilge pump, short-circuiting it. During this, some people have figured out that Nolan is gone. Other people just think that he's passed out or something, which is why Wyatt calls his grandfather to figure out what the F to do. And as the phone call is being made, more people are figuring out something's wrong with Nolan. That's why they didn't start moving again for 30 minutes. They were coming up with a plan and figuring out how to make it work. We've run out of time, but don't worry, I'm doing a follow-up to this video with more details, more information. And if you like my work, be sure to show your support in my bio.
Wow. Oh, so why they showing pictures? And we talked about that the other day. Y'all showing pictures. How we don't know if Nolan was on the other boat? She broke that thing down. Okay, so two things could be true at the same time. She gotta clock it. Y'all, I had not even thought this through like that. It could have possibly been something wrong with that boat. But notice, no one took a picture of the Simpsons man's boat and what was on that boat during the time. They took pictures of the other boat. And my thing is, was it to have proof or evidence of something later on that, oh no, he wasn't on here because look, we were all, it was just us. This is when the whole thing was happening. Remember, Warren did they have been planning for weeks. He did say that, yes. Common sense is the key, is something those rich people don't have. You silly. For all we know, they could have reenacted. Come on now. These videos and photos, they look very staged to me. I'm going to be honest. That's just my opinion. It looks like you're posing. It doesn't look very random. Okay. Now, the other shot that I showed y'all that someone took from a distance of the two boats together, that looks more candid, like they weren't trying to pose. That looked like they didn't even know that person was taking a picture of the two boats. Okay, so that was something I thought about when she broke that thing down. I was like, wait a second. And not the grandfather, they own boats, okay, and sell oh no. Okay, let's see here, y'all. Welcome everyone coming in. I may be missing some of the comments because I'm on another screen. They can't even keep their lies straight. Right. The reason for Wyatt to scream out F and Bart. Yeah. It's since the lawyer comes out, like, I just wish he could answer that question. Why is in that audio, why are they saying Emmett Bart? You know, I don't even want to say his full name. Why are they saying that? What had happened in that moment? They never answered that part. Okay. Yeah, that's the only boat that they talk about. If I was going to take pictures or videos, it would have been of the water filling the boat. Yes, yes. Okay, right, Smiley. Okay, so let me stop sharing. All right, so the grand jury. So I wanted to kind of go over right quick a few things with the grand jury if they present that process, okay? And then we're going to tune into this morning. Don Lemon had an interview with Ben Crump and Nolan's parents about this, okay? So one of the reasons prosecutors use a grand jury is to determine whether the evidence shows that a crime occurred, and if so, whether there is probable cause to charge anyone. Okay. Now, in the Nolan Wells case, the Jackson County District Attorney has said the investigation will be presented to a grand jury after it is complete. She also stated that in Jackson County, it is routine practice to present virtually every non-natural death, other than natural deaths and non-criminal traffic fatalities, to a grand jury. Now, why would a grand jury review this case? There are several possibilities. One is to determine whether a crime occurred at all. So the grand jury could conclude the death was accidental, that there isn't enough evidence of a crime, or that further investigation is warranted. Okay, so that is one possibility. Hey, Lord Footage 2020. Okay, can you give me 1 second? Let me kind of go through some of this first, and then if I have time towards the end, I was going to drop the link. Okay, because I do have an appointment today, so I'm trying to get through this, but if I do have time, yes. Okay. Then also to evaluate all of the evidence together. So this is another reason that they would go to a grand jury. So this includes the official autopsy. That's something they're going to need. They're also going to need the toxicology. So before the grand jury actually looks over everything, if she has not finished with the toxicology, yes, she is definitely going to have that completed. Then they're going to look at any witness testimony, which, you know, hey, we heard the Simpson man just gave out a list of 20 witnesses. So that information, then any other witnesses that they may have talked to, they're definitely going to have to turn that in as well. Any cell phone data, have they reached out to any cell phone carriers? Okay, come on now. Not just looking at phones, taking pictures of phones. Y'all, they did that in the Carmelo Anthony case. Okay, oh, let me see your phone. You got anything in there? Child, stop. Y'all need to get the actual data from the phone companies. Any boat evidence, okay? It looks like the MDMR, they had already started that process, okay? The 911 C-tow recordings, they have that recording. They're getting their experts on it. Any forensic reports and any investigators' findings. So they're going to have to take all of that before the grand jury. Now, to decide also whether probable cause exists to indict someone if the evidence points to criminal conduct. Okay. Now, does there have to be a suspect? No. A grand jury can hear evidence even when no one has been publicly identified as a suspect. Investigators are still determining exactly what happened, or prosecutors want subpoena power to obtain additional evidence or testimony. So this depends on state law and the type of grand jury they have. So sometimes the grand jury process actually helps identify who, if anyone, should be charged. Okay, let me see what y'all saying before I continue. Angel said they're prolonging the investigation. The grand jury can't move forward until the investigation is done. Exactly, Angel. And that's what I wanted to explain, because I think sometimes we think, oh, this is going to be a quick process. Like, now that the autopsy is completed, then, oh, we're about to hear. No, y'all, we have to prepare ourselves to be patient, because they have to finish out their investigation. We don't know how long they're going to stall with that. Then they have to make sure they have all of this before they take it to the grand jury. Okay. So it's some pieces to that they have to get together. I want to know what Nolan's autopsy is going to show the grand jury. That's what I want to know too. I hope the grand jury includes the complete. Yes, it will. Supposed to. Have they been charged? Nope. They picked up Nolan from Jack's house. Rim his car and keys. Yeah, I know where they picked him up from. I guess, your love, I'm just wondering who picked him up. Yes. I'm so excited and taking criminal law at the same time. Oh, I love criminal investigation. I took some classes like that. Why didn't the people inside the boat take pics? All pics are from someone outside the boat taking pics of them. Okay, come on. It is what it is. That's a very good point. Let's make sure we're hitting that like button. Thank you so much to those of you who have already done so. Just double tap that screen, or you can go out and come right back in. They all need to be charged with RICO charges. Everyone that knows about the unaliving and that was there. Okay. Hey, Miss T, welcome. All right. So then, what are some possible outcomes? Okay. So the grand jury could, number one, they could say return no indictment, no bill, if it finds insufficient evidence of a crime. Okay, so that's one option. They could come back and say it's no indictment. We don't think y'all have enough evidence of any type of crime in this matter. Number two, they could issue one or more indictment if it finds probable cause against one or more individuals. Number three, in some circumstances, they seek additional evidence before a final decision, depending on how the prosecutor presents the case. This is why the prosecutor needs to be on the side of the victim. Okay, come on now. Are you really going to go in there because you really, really want to know what happened to Nolan Wells? Or will you consider, oh my gosh, my people could be involved in this? And okay. How is she going to go in and present? That's important. That's key. How she's going to present it. Okay. What all is she going to take in there? So all of that matters when it comes down to the prosecutor, the DA. Okay. So that makes me nervous too. But hey, we're just going to continue to trust God. But it just makes me nervous, y'all. Some of these people are in these positions and they know each other. They're in higher positions. Their kids play sports together. They, seen them at the grocery stores. Hey, girl, live in some of the same neighborhoods, run in the same circles. Just something to consider. Now, does the decision to use a grand jury suggest investigators believe foul play occurred? Not necessarily. In Nolan Wells' case, the DA has emphasized that presenting the case to a grand jury should not be interpreted as meaning investigators have concluded a crime occurred. Rather, she has described it as the county's normal procedure for deaths that are not clearly natural. That said, because the investigation remains active, authorities appear to be gathering and evaluating all available evidence before reaching a final determination. Okay, so that's going to be the process for this. Okay, although it's completed, it's still a process. Now, I'm hoping though that they are at least going to show the results to Nolan's parents, because that's supposed to come up next. All right, the highest point thinks is going to be rigged. Let's see, the DA will have to be transparent and impartial. She is professional. Otherwise, the license she holds can be in jeopardy. Okay. Let's see. Simone said, you heard what that boy said. Ocean Springs got Ocean Springs back. Clock it. Okay, Tristan out here telling y'all secrets. He said y'all gonna have each other's back, baby. We don't know who we playing with. That's what Tristan said. Nobody picked Nolan up. They all left out from Jackson's house. Nolan was already there. The boat dock was behind Jackson's house, the meetup place. Well, why did Warren say they went to the grandparents' house? He drove the Palm Beach on over to his buddy's grandparents' house. Like that, I don't know, that something's missing there. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. But why would he drive the Palm Beach if they were all just meeting there behind the house? I don't know. M1, M2, negligent, homicide, conspiracy, tampering with evidence, obstruction to justice, to name a few. Okay. I'm wondering if the reason they left the island in a rush was because they, Nolan, nothing makes sense. Okay. We still don't know what the third boat is. Okay. We still don't know what the third boat is. All right, so let me pull up the video and we're going to get into some things that they said on this interview this morning.
So far, that's that's a big deal.
Yeah, and often, Tippy, we do not know if they're going to release it. They may say, we're not going to release anything at all until the grand jury. And the grand jury, the district attorney's office may have reached out to the family, but we did not get a chance to talk to them before the news told us the autopsy was complete. We are scheduled to have a meeting with the...
Now, y'all see how messed up that is, too? Okay. The news gave us the information before they even reached out to the family. Why are y'all reaching out to the news and telling them before y'all reached out to this family? They should not have had to hear about this from the news first. Y'all should have gotten them on the phone. That happened in the Kobe Bryant situation. His wife did not even know that him and her and their child were deceased. They saw it from TMZ. People started calling them because TMZ always wants to be the first. They had leaked that information, and then people started calling Vanessa. That's how she found out her husband was deceased and her child in a helicopter crash. So why again are we finding out breaking news that the autopsy report was completed and the family did not even know yet? No, y'all supposed to get with them, meet, talk about it, and then release to the public. Y'all not trying to release the autopsy results to us. So what we need to know so fast and in a hurry for. Okay. Yes, they did. Right, Peggy. It might be at the grandpa's shop. We need to check that shop. Come on now. Okay, come on. I gotta look into that business, see what's going on. Where is it? Is it close by? I don't even know where it's located. Okay, now that she done put that info out there, people are gonna start looking into some things. Jack's place was left to him from his grandparents, if I remember correctly. I'm going to go back and listen again. But the way Warren said it was they went over to my buddy's grandparents' house. That was not the same place. Okay. Now, it may have been Jack's grandparents, but it's a different location than where they stayed. Remember, he said he put the truck, one of the boats was on Wyatt's truck. I'll go back, y'all. I don't want to be just saying stuff because I don't have that pulled up right now.
District Attorney's Office next week. Whether that means they're going to reveal the autopsy results is unknown to us, but we're certainly going to inquire because, you know, we have been begging for transparency the whole way, and we've tried to be very transparent with them, and we hope that they will be transparent with us, especially his family.
Right.
Yeah. So Ben, can they not release information to you? Because I know that, to explain the process, because it goes to a grand jury. Now, do you know if they're going to be transparent with you, or you don't, and how much you think they can or will reveal?
Well, I think they can. They can do what they want. You know, we do cases all across America, and the district attorney and the governmental authorities have the authority to release information as they so deem to release it. Don Lemon, you know, they could be transparent, or they can say, well, we're not going to release anything until the grand jury. And then that means we don't know when we're going to see it, because nobody knows when they're going to conclude their report. And
wait a second. Okay. Q Kennedy said the shop is 10 miles from the house in Fort Bio. That's why on the call he changed toll drop off from Ocean Springs to Fort Bio. Thank you for that. Okay. Come on now. We get somewhere. Come on, because we're going to start moving away from the water. Okay. This is why my mind started shifting yesterday, because I, for one, want to know the third boat. Okay, what was happening there? Locations, who did, the car situation, how did he get to the boat launch? Where did everyone land? Which boat launch? Do we go back to the same one? When did the third boat come in? Now we're hearing about business. Okay, come on. It's in Fort Bio too. Come on. Thank y'all so much for that info.
George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases like that, where you had governmental authorities trying to be transparent, they would release information to try to build public trust. What are they going to do in Mississippi? We do not know if they're going to release it. They may say, we're not going to release anything at all until the grand jury, and the grand jury might convene. You just never know.
You said the grand jury might convene. You cut out for a second, Ben.
They can convene anytime the district attorney's office says that we've completed our investigation. It's all up to them. It could be next week. It could be 2 or 3 months. We have no control over when the grand jury is convened and when the district attorney decides to release information.
Why did it take Mississippi so long to present these results? And do you know why they've been so quiet?
I don't want to speculate. I know oftentimes they would offer that they're waiting for a toxicology report. So why it took as long as it did, but we hope that they will be transparent with us, because as Dr. Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy at the behest of the family, Don Lemon, articulated, he shared that he would not be able to tell if the airways were obstructed, if the lungs were filled with water, because by the time he got Nolan's body, the organs had already been dissected. And so he would have to depend on the observations of the state medical examiner, who would have gotten Nolan's body immediately once they recovered it.
Right. That made a huge difference. Okay. Thank you, Q Kennedy. Now, see you lady, we're talking about the grand jury when they're convening to go over the autopsy reports and all the findings, investigative findings, the audio, all of that. That's the jury we're talking about because they can make the decision whether there needs to be an indictment or not. Okay. And then against who? They can also, through the information that's presented, kind of tell who needs to be called in or if they need to do further investigation. So all of that can be determined from the grand jury. I think it said that on the grand jury, it could be like sometimes between 15 to 25 people. I don't know the racial makeup there of this grand jury. All of that is supposed to be a secret, okay, when they convene and who's all a part of it and so forth. So that's just some info about that. Warren's dad is in charge of toxicology. Ooh, oh my goodness. And I'm still trying to figure out on that call why somebody said get your dad. Who daddy? Why? Okay. From my experience with other people, most indictments are usually 6 months to a year. Just look at other cases. Got you. Okay. Got you. True, Ben. Just because autopsy is complete doesn't mean DA is finished with their investigation. So it may be a second before a grand jury takes place. Yes, that's what we were talking about. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think there is going to be a big cover up. Wow. Shout out to Detective London. Thank you for the jewel, sis, and thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. If you would like to also be a sponsor, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, Cash App, or buy a coffee, and those links are in the chat. Thank you so much.
I want to ask you, so that's the only way that you're going to know if the independent autopsy and the state autopsy, if they indeed match up with each other. So two questions. That's the only way you're going to know. So one would think that they'd have to be transparent, or at least they'd want to, so that you can combine the two, because they'd want to get to the bottom of it. If there's some discrepancy with one or the other, that can be really beneficial to finding out what happened to Nolan. And so what happens if the results in Mississippi don't align with the evidence shown so far? That's that's a big deal.
Yeah, and oftentimes, Don, you do find that you have differences in autopsies. I know I've handled several cases where the state medical examiner concludes one.
Laura footage, I've already addressed that earlier. Remember, I said I have an appointment today, and if I have time at the end of my content, then I was going to drop the link, because I said that in the beginning too, that if someone wanted to come up. So it's nothing personal, just a time crunch for me today.
Thing, and an independent medical examiner concludes another, and then you have to put it before a grand jury, and they decide. Or
shout out to Caramel Shell for the super chat and for being a sponsor. She said, I've seen folk indicted in a week come to my city. Okay, hopefully so. All right, a major breakthrough coming. Yes, Sonia, we're praying so. Yes, definitely.
even more profound, the matter then goes to an actual jury trial in whether it's criminal proceeding or not, or civil proceeding. And so it really is about what you said, trying to be transparent with one another and seeing if we can figure out why you get these conclusions. And remember this, Don, autopsy is not the end all. It's still other factors that are important as well. Remember, Dr. Roger Mitchell said, even if the conclusion is he died from a drowning, then the questions become, what was the condition of his body before he entered the water? Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water, or was he not forced into the water? So all of these become very important variables as you look at it. And I'm saying this, and I'm here with Christine and Elmore as we go to Cincinnati, Ohio, to speak to a lot of young people, high school students and so forth, at the Omega Conclave Convention. So we're
Yeah.
I'm sensitive. We're talking about autopsy, and I know this gets a little emotional.
Well, that's why I want to ask Miss Christine, who's there, and Mr. Elmore there as well. Miss Christine, thank you so much.
I'm handing the phone to Christine.
Okay. I know that it's difficult for you to listen to this, and I was keenly aware that you're in the background and you're having to deal with this. I wrote something this morning in my newsletter, and I said that, you have been wanting transparency around this. First of all, good morning. Thank you for joining us. But you have been wanting transparency around this. But hearing the actual words and the results or whatever, that is extremely difficult. You want transparency, but then to be able to hear it is heart-wrenching. It's really a double-edged sword.
It is. And honestly, it's one of those things when we're sitting in it, because we have not been able to fully agree, right? So there is a bit of disassociation that occurs. And I too have to just always take a moment to step back and be like, okay, however it goes, right? Like it has to in some way, like it has to be accepted. But again, I can't fully accept the answers and things that were told to us at the beginning because it was too soon. There was no investigation. Stories did not align. And so for people to say, hey, why can't you just accept it as a drowning and be done, and those things that have occurred.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's why we needed that independent autopsy. We needed to make sure that whatever was found was true. But of course, when you don't have the complete picture, that also, kind of makes you question even more, like, what exactly are we dealing with? And we need that. Like my husband and I, our family, we need those questions answered.
When you got the news that the autopsy, the state autopsy was done, what went through what was that like for you? What did you think?
I said, oh, wow. But then again, like Attorney Crump said, the DA did reach out. Actually, I had texted the victim's advocate, Amanda, saying, hey, were there any updates for the autopsy? I know the coroner told us it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the toxicology report to come back, which I know that was kind of the main thing they were stressing. And so then I think that afternoon, so today is what? So I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't going to call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassing phone calls I've been getting.
Wow. And I agree with Angel. The DA should recuse herself since her and the judge work together. It's a conflict of interest. I agree. I definitely agree and would request a special prosecutor in this case, being that the judge's son is, I ain't gonna say a suspect or anything like that, but hey, doing interviews, could have possibly been around Nolan last. That's a conflict of interest. I totally agree with that. Okay, and that should be something they need to look into. I can't tell them how to do their job, but how could we get a special prosecutor on this case, being that they have worked together? It's different that, if it was a totally different family, not connected to, but she is connected to this judge. They have a working relationship, if nothing else. Okay, so that's a very good point. Still doesn't add up with the audio. So sad these parents can't grieve for their son. Instead, they're in front of cameras fighting for answers and justice. Exactly. Yes, me too. I'm open to all perspectives. Hey, Becca. The interview with Lemon was good. Christine ain't come to play. Oh, yeah. You could tell she's not going to play. She definitely holds her tongue a lot, just like his father. You could tell they probably, y'all, just want to pop off and go off, but they're trying to remain, calm and professional through all of this. That's a lot that they're coming up against with the threats and the bad reviews and people talking about them constantly and, trying to find answers, and you're trying to be transparent, but you're not getting it in return. All of that is so frustrating. I can only imagine and make you want to just go off. But the times that I've seen them, if they do, is probably behind the scenes, punch, kick something, you scream or whatever. But they're just trying to get through this and trying to get to the bottom of what happened to Nolan. Think about it. Reported missing, 5th Coast Guard surveillance. Monday morning, body washes up. Exactly. Right. Okay. We just got to see this. The thing. This is why I want us to start focusing on the movement once they got back with these different boats and people and so forth, because that's where the answers are going to lie. Because all this, we saw him at 6 o'clock. That stuff they backtracking. Y'all should have said that in the beginning. But we haven't focused a lot on where these boats at. When everybody came back and was moving, where y'all moving to? They need to check coordinates from when they're moving out in the water, going here, going there. Where were y'all going to? Okay. All of that needs to be tracked over the course of the weekend, not just the 4th of July. Y'all need to look at it for the course of the weekend through that Monday morning. Okay. Where were those boats? Or were there other boats used during that time? Because we did hear that Trayston said they got on a boat and was out there and they got told that's okay, y'all can get out of here, we're looking, type of thing. Okay, so whose boat was that? Can we open to our perspectives without throwing insults? Yes, please don't throw insults. Okay. The distress call audio is disturbing and crystal clear. Right. I pray that this case is moved out of the state of Mississippi. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It is for free. If there was nothing in the autopsy, I think they would release it. There must be something there to even present it. If he has drugs in the system, how can we know if he took them or slipped them? That's my thing. It is what it is. Because we're now hearing that, it makes me think that's what they're going to come up with. Okay. So with that being said, how do we know it wasn't forced, accidental, or not accidental, but, put into something? How do we know that part? Okay. Even if you do find that, how do we know it wasn't something that he wasn't aware of? Because he knew he had Monday morning coming. Okay. That was something that was a big opportunity for him. And he didn't look like the careless type, and really didn't look like the rug type. It looked like he was more of the videos that we're seeing, more of the peacemaker. It's an older video has been resurfacing of him trying to stop 2 guys from fighting. Okay. So he doesn't seem like he's about that business right there. Okay. More of a team player, peacemaker. If he did have alcohol, we did see it looked like a beer can in his hand on one picture. That wouldn't surprise me. But heavily, intoxicated, where you can't barely stand up and stuff like that, I would question that part. Okay, I would definitely question that. All these deaths are overwhelming, right? Spacegate said one of the most powerful weapons we have as families, is boycott. This is an economic warfare. Shout out to Shamika. Thank you so much for the super chat and for being the sponsor. She said he just answered a couple of my questions. I hurt for this family because they are having to constantly relive this because they are being given breadcrumbs. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Hi, Latina. And thank you so much. Welcome to the Open Book family. I appreciate that. Let's see. Lawyers and investigators know the first 48 are the most critical. Yes. Okay. I don't think Wyatt's Palm Beach was investigated. I don't think so either. Trayston and his uncle had 14 on their boat. That's a lot of people. Shout out to Latina for becoming an Open Book member. You were already family, but now you are a member. Thank you so much and welcome. Check that McDonald's video, okay, for who Warren met up. And y'all, I didn't really catch when we were listening to that video until yesterday. We listened to it again. I didn't realize that when he said he went to McDonald's, he also added he went back to his house for a second. Well, what did he go back to his house for? Okay, because he put that in there in the interview. He said he was going to McDonald's, but then I went to my house. Then we got some breakfast. I was like, wait a second. He just eased that in there. So who took you over to your house? You drove over there? Okay. What happened? What were y'all doing at your house? And then you came back. So it's like different questions. Okay. Let's see. Tent D, you're good for now. Let's stay focused on the content. Let's not make anything personal. You're good for now. Giving, a little warning. Let's just keep it on what we're talking about, please. Thank you so much. Alcohol had nothing to do with it. Let's see here. Who chooses the grand jury? I don't know how they're chosen, like the people themselves. That's a very good question. Thank you, Alicia, for the jewels and for being a sponsor. Your love said, I don't think so, but either way, they irk that boy. The demon media channels always want to tank good people's image, even the dead. Yeah, I've seen that. What a shame. Nolan was a good role model. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's the sad part of it. This young man has worked hard, okay, in college, had a phenomenal opportunity coming up to go to Division 1, okay, in his career. And now, and that's what I'm sensing, we're about to try to taint his image and his legacy with putting the last things, possible rugs in alcohol. Come on now. But y'all not going to talk about the good stuff, and the things that his coaches have said about him and so forth. That's the part that I think makes me mad. And I think that's what even upset me with the Tyrone Davis case is y'all want this to look like this young man jumped from a moving vehicle without even doing an investigation. You want that to be his legacy? Okay. He deserved better than that. That man looked out for his family, his friends. He looked to be, the videos that we've seen, like a good young man. But that's what y'all want as his legacy. I think that's what upset me a lot in that case, that they just left it there. A grand jury is chosen through a random pool selection. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. Pool selection process designed to represent a fair cross section of the local community. Got you. Okay, so it's random. Okay. Ooh, child. So we'll see of the community. Okay. Hey, Q. They do. Right. Pray for this family. Ask God for discernment. Yeah, during these times. A poll of the citizens. Ooh, child. I wonder what's the makeup there. Okay. Because, child, look. Hey. I hope it's not another Carmelo Anthony type of makeup where we got a diverse group in there. That's all I'm saying. I've literally learned nothing in the last 10 minutes. What didn't you just contribute? So I guess you're learning nothing from your own comments as well. Okay, have a good day. You see how that goes, John? That is so funny to me. Baby, bye-bye. There's up to date on Tyrone. Yes. We went over that the other day. Yes. HGY said, well, if they try to go with that narrative, the fact that Tatum expressed someone credible stated that there was an individual giving out rugs still implicates others. Yes, that's true. That is true. Okay, so that's a possibility right there. Somebody could get charged because if someone was dealing some, especially on federal land. Okay, come on now.
Talk to you about all of that. But just one more thing before we go into that. I just spoke with Ben about transparency. What are you hoping from Mississippi, whoever's releasing this information, whether it be the medical examiner's office, the state, or the DA? What would you like from them? You want to hear everything, I'm sure.
I would like for everyone to just do their job. I would like for everyone to treat this as if this was their child or their family member and give us the same honesty, transparency, and respect that they would expect for them or their family.
Amen. Now, can we talk about the other stuff? You went there, so I feel like I can go there because I've been bothered by it. We've been reporting on it. It's disgusting. I'm gonna start with one thing, and then I'll talk about the harassment of you, especially as a mother and then as a medical professional. And I know you take your profession very seriously when you said, I love everybody, black, white, red, green, it does not matter. So do not get that wrong. And you've always had really good reviews. But I want to talk about this blaming the victim and smearing the victim. The reports that we've been hearing, no, Nolan was drinking, he was doing this, he was doing that. why, I guess we know why they're doing it, but I want to know what your assessment is, how you feel about that, because even let's just say that he was, I'm not saying that he was, let's just saying that whatever he was doing, that doesn't mean that you have to die. Then that doesn't mean he was the only one.
Exactly.
And what do you think young people do? On my senior trip, I was, out there, right? So I'm just saying, kids have fun. So why? So what does that have to do with anything? That's what I don't understand. What's your assessment on this?
Honestly, I feel like that is a way which we've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And, after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? And, that's something, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But, we can't fight everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut-wrenching at best. Because if you were in our situation, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, he was at an island, he was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan very well, coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too, that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like and it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. And I'm like, but was he though?
Wow.
Or is this a narrative that you guys want
We had a coach out there as well. Wow.
to use to kind of have us just accept that it was a drowning?
Mm-hmm. Are you prepared for whatever it is? I know that's tough, and that's a yes and no question.
Honestly, it's hard to be prepared in any way with the way we have been thrusted onto the national stage and just kind of everything. And it's going to take a long time. So even, God willing, when we do get honest, transparent answers, right? Even when we get those answers, it's still going to take a moment, not even a moment. It's still going to take a while for us to digest and really accept that. Because again, and this is just me now speaking from a medical standpoint, we're kind of stuck in one of the stages of grief because we don't have answers. And that's the thing people don't understand. Everyone grieves differently. You hit those stages of grief at different times, and sometimes you feel like they might go on at the same time. But right now we're kind of just stuck and we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
So when you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate to mention his name, a former officer who's a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
I respect that. And that's the right answer for everybody, I believe. And I feel like, because I mentioned him, I'm like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
So the
Okay, clock it. She said that was the classy answer right there. Darlene said Tristan exposed how Tatum came to do the interviews and who called Tatum in part 5 of Tatum interview. He's being paid. He said he interviewed 4 of the boys, but only revealed 2, Warren and Tristan. Wait a minute, Darlene. So have we seen 5 parts? Are you saying there's a 5th part and there was supposed to be 4 boys? Huh. Okay, Angel said, uh-oh, so that's gonna put disrespect. He was heavily, oh yeah. Because the coach has just seen him. So if the coach is there and saying around 2 something, he was okay. Come on now. Clock it. Okay, I hope they bring him in as a witness. It's horrific that every time something happens to a Black person, we're out here screaming, do your job. But if we blink at a white person, they put in the work overtime to do some kind of job on us. Uh-oh. Wow. You're welcome. Thank you, Monroe. I appreciate the support. Really? Marcy, okay. That young man was heading to football camp again if drugs are in his system. Uh-huh, right. Yes, 5, Warren, 1, Dusty. Okay. So it was supposed to be 4, it was supposed to be 4 boys. Wow. I wonder who the other 2 boys were. I wonder why he didn't share those interviews.
But let's talk about the people, the young men that he's been interviewing. They're saying they're his best friends. Some of them you said that you don't know. One of them even said, oh, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family? But go.
Again, distraction. We're not even gonna address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
Dad, you've been here. We saw you yesterday with not only speaking up for your son, but for others as well who have been involved in mysterious deaths. That was a very emotional moment for you, and the vulnerability I saw there. What do you want to say to folks who are your wife is getting, threats? She's being harassed. Those families have been treated like they're a nuisance by police departments, according to the reporting. What do you want to say to America about this?
Like my wife said, just from a parent standpoint, we just want to know what happened. We want a fair and thorough investigation, just like the other families, because we hurt just like them. If this was their children, they would want to know. They would want to go to every resource they can get to the ends of the world to find out what happened. So then that's all we're doing. We're not accusing anyone. We just want to know what happened to our son because it doesn't add up. Times don't add up, stories don't add up, and it just doesn't. So we just want a fair and thorough investigation so we can grieve properly because we can't, because there's so many answers, but so many questions that are not answered.
I don't know if you want to respond to this, or Ben or Christine. The father of one of the young men who's been speaking out is put up a $50,000 reward reportedly. What do you think of that, Ben or Elmore or Christine?
Yeah, we are happy with anybody who wants to share the objective to get into the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. So we applaud it and we say, yeah, let's all work together to get answers because we, as we said continuously down limit, adamantly, somebody saw something, somebody knows something. I mean, and that's what you want are answers.
Mm-hmm. Ben, yes, we all do want answers in this. Can you talk to us about that press conference yesterday? Because it's not just, and all of them 18 years old, these young people, right? There was a very emotional press conference with the family and the grandmother. You chose to highlight that at the Urban League. Tell
pause there. If you want to watch it in its entirety, it is on the Don Lemon Show. He's also here in YouTube, so you can watch it. I did want to, for those of you, we can have a few come up. If you would like to come up on the panel for about 2 minutes and share your thoughts about anything pertaining to the case, you're welcome to. I have about 10, 15 minutes I can spare for now, but I did want to allow the opportunity for anyone that wanted to come up and share your thoughts. Just be respectful to the family, the platform. That's all I ask, but you're welcome to share your thoughts. So what's really going on is a content moderator show how GPS has been deleted plus on the Marine. Oh, yes, we looked at it earlier. Yes, Tracy, we sure did. The lady Um, Nerdy Pete Panda. Okay, we have our first person coming up. You ready, sis? We have Shell coming to the stage. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming up.
You're welcome. I got to start with my greetings about how much I appreciate you and appreciate your channel.
Thank
Um,
you, sis.
and this is just let me in a 2 minute summary. I just want to say that this is such a travesty. I wouldn't wish this on any parent. And um, my thing is that I believe that, of course, I believe that they is something very wrong going on, right? I believe that Warren, well, I'll say Oren. I call him Oren, whatever, because I don't want anything bad,
Right.
right.
Mhm.
But I think that he said enough for us to understand. I think that when he said what he said, he did it in a way that he's diverting, he diverted the attention from him. And that's why we need to look more at him, because he started dropping names and, all this other stuff. And that's it. I probably could go a million and one, but you know how
No,
you
you
already know, and I know you appreciate me, but at the same time, you're like, okay, wait, let me skip, let me skip what she said. So, anywho, I just want to say that it's gonna come to light. It may take a minute, but it's gonna come to light. And again, I want to say that I believe that the way that we're gonna get justice is for them to get a special prosecutor, and maybe even internal affairs. You have a great day. Love you. I'm here all the time. Sometimes I get late. I'm here late. I work from home. So sometimes, I jump in, I get in what I can fit in. But I'm always here. If I don't catch you live, I'll catch you on a replay. You have a good one.
okay? Look, I appreciate that, sis. Thank you so much, and I definitely agree with you. And believe you can put what you want to put, because I agree with a lot of it.
All right,
Thank
girl.
you
I
for
love you. Have
sharing
a
that.
good one.
You too, Shell. Let's see here. Okay, we have Shamika backstage. We're gonna bring on up. Hey, Shamika, welcome, sis.
Hey, LB, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. You look, I got a little time today.
Well, definitely appreciate you for all of the stuff that you cover. You are you're detailed and fair to me. So you're one of the only people that I actually subscribe to and have a membership with. But
I appreciate that, sis.
absolutely. But like I with this whole situation. I know everybody's waiting on like toxicology and everything to come back, but I said it earlier. We don't know how, if anything's in the system, how it got there. Because there's some stuff you don't even have to ingest. I mean, you can just touch it, and it's in your system. So that concerns me when it comes to this case, and I'm just like, I just want this family to have. I'm not even gonna say peace because that's really difficult in like times like this. I just don't understand how people can just go in on a family that's already going through so much um in such a negative way. So
I agree.
the way you bring that in for this all to the forefront without attacking them and allowing them to be human, thank you. Like that's all I can tell you is just what I mean, like just thank you.
No, you're welcome. I'm a parent too, and I put myself, in their shoes. I wouldn't want people attacking me if I'm just trying to find out, because that's a hard place to be in. And they stated that this morning. You're trying to grieve and get answers, so it's almost like you have to put your grief on hold and go and try to make people aware of what's going on, trying to get answers. So I empathize with them.
Yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am with it. I'm just like I had put in the chat a couple days ago. I'm like, just the way stuff is back and forth, like even with what happened, like we're all speculating because we don't really know what happened. But it's just been in my head since the beginning. Like, even if you say he drowned, like Ben said, like what condition was his body in? Because if you're breathing, you're gonna get some water in your lungs.
Right.
It,
Hmm.
it, but what led up to that? What condition was he in? Was he able to get out of get out of certain situations? Like what was it? So I just hope for answers. That's all. I want answers for them, but I also want answers for us as a people, because it just looks like we are going back in time
Right.
and not
That's
moving forward.
I definitely agree. It should not take all of this. It should not take a reward being offered just to get justice, and the things you were just talking about. That's going to be how thorough of an investigation they do, to
Yeah.
find out was this given to him, or, what happened in the water, what happened when they got back, or did he get back with someone else? Was his body brought back out there that morning? Those are going to be some hardcore questions that they're going to have to ask first, and then look for the answers. Sometimes they don't want to pose certain questions because, oh, somebody in my community could have possibly done this, or if they want to ignore it.
I mean, hey, listen, some of the best psychopaths
Right.
come from good, come from good families. In my head, when I'm envisioning this, I'm seeing him getting on this boat to go home, thinking everything is good. Something happens, and then you've got this whole call that comes in where people are like panicking and stuff, and they don't know that they're being recorded. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so he was on the boat. Something happened, whether they gave it to him or if it was absorbed or whatever. Um, they took him all the way back to like Fort Bayou or to Simpson's home or wherever, because there's an MD there that works. He's anesthesiologist. Who's going to know how to reverse something like that better than him? But
Right.
you get
Hmm.
there and things aren't so, it's not so black and white, because now it took too long and he's not there anymore. He's no longer here. And then you send him back out or take him back out and just put him out in this water. Like it just all seems so, it's just diabolical. It's just messed up. But that's all I wanted to express, because I've got so many different narratives in my head because nobody's giving answers. But
Right.
that one just kind of sticks out.
And that's good. That's good. I appreciate you, and thank you for sharing that with us today.
Absolutely. And again, Obi, thank you so much. And everybody, y'all have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate your support as well. Have a good day. So, y'all, I agree with Shamika as well. That could be a possibility if we indeed see something in his system or something like that, because it goes back to the audio call when someone was allegedly saying, get your dad on the line. Who would know if something was going wrong in that matter, that time could, they've been looking for some help on how to reverse some stuff. So, hey, I don't know. But like she also said too, is when we don't have all of the answers, do we fill in the gaps? Do we try to think this thing through and start creating our own theories and so forth, because no answers have been given? Okay. Highest Point thinks that he was possibly choked out. For real, for real. Thanks, Open Book. God bless. Thank you, Monroe. I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, but me said, could the 50K offer be considered interference? Is the dad asking Tips to come to him? Ooh, I don't. Now, I think it was to contact the tip line for any info that could, lead to an arrest or conviction. But hey, we don't know the purpose of it. Does he actually feel like somebody else could be at fault? You see what I'm saying? Or is this just another gameplay? That's a good point. Even in team takeout, when something bad happened, everyone leaves at the same time. Very important. Yeah, why did everyone decide to just leave at the same time? That's a good question. If they hooked the boat and drove back home, why no one was charged with drunk driving? Oops. Uh-oh. Exactly. Allegedly, Fort Bio was the hideout for his body. Allegedly, Art lives in Fort Bio. That boat dock was hidden with trees and trails. Okay, if Nolan had something in his system, they all had something in their system. That does not negate the order or the cover up. Right. The highest point. It doesn't. You still got to find out what happened. The water and organisms in the water can also come up as if it was alcohol. Oh, really? I never knew that. Okay, so let's see here. Hey, the real Nikki. One thing that stuck in my mind is how did the grandfather call and say they don't need tow, but Warren didn't know the grandpa talked to the tow service. Well, yeah, that's still the question. Okay, that's definitely still a question. Hey, Bunny, bright day to you. There will be lies, truth mixed with lies, some truths, yet the absolute truth, and total transparency is needed in the Wells case and the other cases spoken at the Urban League. I agree. I definitely agree. Could the parents of the teens fighting behind the scenes, since Warren and Trayston are the only ones speaking out? I don't know. That's a good point. Who are the other boys? Okay. Even if he didn't show their faces, could he not have said, look, if you are, going to share your story, do you mind if I just let them hear your voice, or don't position the camera over there? Just let them hear what you have to say. How come they didn't do something like that? And the parents probably did stop them from talking. Okay. Yeah. Everyone involved. It's crazy work, y'all. It's a lot being done in this case that it's a lot of red flags. These families go back centuries. Darren's mom married into, bless you. Darren's mom married into the family is much deeper than we know. Oh, yes. Wait, Warren's mom. You mean Warren? Oh, but you call him Darren? Yes, definitely. It's a lot going on there, Sam. It really is. Okay, y'all. So I don't see anyone else backstage. I want to give a special shout out to all of the sponsors. We had a Mama Magazine. We had Des D, Kara Michelle, Erica B, La Quinta, Detective London, that one, and Simone, Cooking with Mama Dukes. I missed some of these. Shamika, Alicia, and also welcome to the Open Book members, Latina. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate that. And shout out to the mods in the building on today. Thank y'all. And no, that was not Shelly. A couple of people thought that was Shelly. That was Shamika. That was talking to their parents on the boat. What's the demographic breakdown of Ocean Springs? Let's see. Let me check right quick. Okay. Okay, so according to the latest U.S. Census Bureau, between 2024, 25, Ocean Springs has a population of approximately 18,993 residents. 79.6% is white alone. 7.6% is Black or African American alone. Asian, 5.2%. Mixed, 2 or more races, 5.8%. American Indian, 0.1%. Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander is less than 0.1%. Hispanic is 8.4%. And white non-Hispanic, 76.6%. Then you have under 18, 20.7%, 65 and older, 21.4%. Well, what happened to the between 19 and 60? Why they include that? That's weird. Females, you got 48.6, males 51.4%. Wow. Okay. The median household income is 79,712. Poverty rate is 5.5%. Ocean Springs is generally considered more affluent than the Mississippi average, predominantly white with a growing Asian and Hispanic population. An older community, come on now, with over 1/5 of residents aged 65 or older. They're known for strong public schools, an arts-oriented downtown, and a significant military influence due to nearby installations like Keesler Air Force Base. Oh, wow. Okay. So that was, found that quite interesting. Thanks for asking that. Right, Nurse M says name Darren to me. If Mama call him Darren, now I'm gonna call him Darren. Okay. Come on now. Okay, Ann said Jackson, Eric, Wyatt, Warren. Yeah. Those are some of the boys' names that's been out here that we've been hearing their names. It's funny we don't have freedom of speech anymore. Trayston still hasn't told us who took his phone and how they got it. Exactly. How did they get his phone? There's another enhanced video out, and someone says, oh Lord, not another video. I can't do no more videos. What in the world? Yeah, we still don't know who Will is, Mama Betsy. Who is Will? Will was on the boat too. They were saying his name. Now they have to find who has the new audio. I haven't heard this one, y'all. Now look at here. Now, I don't know if all this different stuff was being said. Oh my God, what now? A lot of these so-called friends of Nolan are creating confusing stories. That's why I said I'm tired of playing with these kids. I'm not gonna keep playing these games. Okay. We too old for this. We all have to stay prayed up, right? Thank you, Alicia, for asking that. Right. Okay. Come on, Sergeant King, and welcome. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you for joining. Let's be real, it's about race in these cases. I didn't see any white families at the press conference. The island is connected to the Underground Railroad. Yes. I looked at that one day. I meant to do a video about that. Okay, let me see. Child, y'all be knowing some stuff. Like, I ain't even heard this, and I must have been asleep. Was I asleep? No, we can't be having that. We ain't hearing all this stuff now. Let me see what y'all talking about, though. Look, y'all got me being nosy now. I ain't heard it, but hey, let's see what is it about. Okay, Taylor's house. Oh, okay. Let's see here. I think, was this the guy that was on Nancy Grace? I think he was on Nancy Grace. I wonder if Will is a nickname. Not Will and shout out to Karen Michelle. Hold on to my thing. Wait, y'all, my little thing just blinked. Hold on one second. Okay. Y'all, let me see what y'all talking about. Make sure y'all tap that like button, and then after this, I am gonna have to get off. Okay.
Since I've heard it, it's just really disturbing. I've really been struggling. It is the clearest, most enhanced version of the audio call, the audio CTO call that was released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. This is unlike anything I've heard before. Someone reached out to me and sent it to me. I have verified that this person is who they say they are. They're an audio engineer with 20 years experience. They do not want me to share their name. I do know who their name is. I do know exactly who this person is. I don't know them personally, but I was able to confirm that they are who they say they are. And what is coming out in this audio, it's really disturbing. So I'm going to play that audio for you, and I'll let you come to your conclusions as to what you hear and what it means. I heard it, and it is It is disturbing, but I'm gonna play it for you and let you come to your own conclusions of what you hear and what it means. But before I play it, I want to read something to you that came directly from the person who created this audio. I spent some time with them on the phone today just to make sure that they're actually a credible source to do this. And in that conversation, I asked him, what did you do that's different from what other people have done to make the quality of this audio better?
All right, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, all praises to the Most High, and that is our dear brother Elliot Connie, who's been following the Nolan Wells case, and he received a more enhanced, detailed, like, a clear murder cover-up. But just take a listen.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Oh, shut the fuck up! What'd you say? Hey. It's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now. I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkinson. I think it's Jerry Atkinson. Try that. I know we have membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on here. You got ripped off. Reach me at Yeah, everybody's on. What? No, we do not need that. Let me go look. Well. Hey, Nord. All right, are you ready? Nord, ready for you? 4672. Sorry. Hey, what do you send you? Yeah, what? Yeah, we do not have VHS right here. Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79. Yes, we were at Horn Island. Yes. If we were sinking, yes. Oh, we're not at ground. We are in 17 foot of water and 31 foot of water. I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes. You can tow it to Ocean Springs or Fort Bayou you want. No, there's no children. Stop in the water. Jump in and pull the plug bar while you're going. Hold on. Stay out of here. Stay out of here. Hello. Stay out of here. Okay, what's going on? What's up? There 0 adults on board. No. Nobody here is over the age of 21. Hello? Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat. Like 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we have life jackets available. A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
So if you listen to that, you realize that there's a lot of incriminating statements within that audio. Is he dead? I killed him. He's dead. Let's move him. He asked for it. Should I call the Navy? What did that mean? Many people feel like even the call between the young man and the CETO dispatch, they were speaking in code. Once again, that's a possibility because once again, no one knows what happened to Nolan and everybody is silent.
Right. Shout out to Taylor. Let me see. What's his channel for that clip? Taylor House Publishing. Okay. Now I'm going to stop that there. But y'all, let me say this. Because I'm going to go back and listen to it again on my own. But what I find interesting, and I didn't say anything or bring any awareness to it because I'm going to have to go to work and look at my notebook though. But yesterday when we were on the live and we were talking about the press conference, and I pay attention to my chat. I didn't highlight it or bring it up, but someone, when we were talking about the name of the girls who was there, right? And some of y'all may have been in the chat. I don't know if y'all remember. Someone dropped a name into the chat. And I say, I'm going to just write a note of that. You know, because in case I need to go back or it comes out later on, then that name had already been put out there because I had never seen that name before. And I was like, well, was that somebody that knew and they just don't want nobody to know they're under a different page or something, but just dropping a real name in the chat? So one of the names sounded like a name that was on this audio. I got to go back and look at it because I did jot it in my journal at work yesterday. So that's odd because I had never seen that name before. Okay. And a lot of the things, if they're taking a picture of the boat with Wyatt taking a call and all of that, it sounds like a lot of this could have been taking place on the other boat. You see what I'm saying? Why was there not a picture being taken of that boat? Someone is releasing videos and messages secretly. Somebody's seen and knows something. Exactly, Shailene. Yes, I feel that. But I found that odd. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same name, which I don't want to say because I want to go look at my notes from yesterday. But I was like, wait a second. Why would they put that yesterday? And now I'm just now seeing this video today, and there was a different name in there that we hadn't seen before. Are we going to accept the final findings in the Wells case, then follow the civil lawsuit case filed by the Nolan's family? We often forget too soon. This happens over and over again. Exactly right, Bonnie. Okay. Dispatch heard what they were saying the first few seconds. That's why she asked about people alive. Yes. Right. Right, Nika. Wow. Okay, the highest point. Some of y'all were okay. Did y'all? Oh my gosh. Some of y'all must have been in there. Okay. And they gave first and last. Do y'all remember? I just need to go look at my notes because I just said, let me just write. I never brought attention to it. I just clocked it and wrote it down. I said, just in case something comes of this, I have a note of it in my journal because I never said, but then y'all told me to listen to this. And I'm like, wait a second, what? Is that one of the girls that we're hearing in the background? Because I remember we were talking about why all of a sudden, we were talking about the report, are they giving girls names that allegedly weren't there? And we're like, well, who are the girls? Is Katie one of the girls or whatever? So we were on that conversation, and someone, I can't even remember who it was, to be honest. I can't remember who came in and dropped the name. And I said, let me take a note of this name. It was a first and last name. I remember writing it down because I didn't want us to get off track either because we were talking about something else. And I had a note, some notes from the press conference. So I was like, okay, I'll just write this down so I don't forget. If I ever have to come back to it, I have note of it. Not knowing, y'all told me to listen to this video, and that same name is in this video. What in the world? See how we just stumble upon stuff and we don't even be looking. We don't even have to look, but I'm glad I got some witnesses that were there and saw it too. I just didn't bring any attention to it yesterday, but I did take note. Seemed like someone snapped a picture to hold on to. Okay, come on now, Marcy. Now, y'all, I still go back to this, okay, because I do not know who would have taken this. Let me, okay. Now, someone that was still on the island seems like they would have taken this shot. And it doesn't look like they are posing like in the other pictures. I don't know who took this shot, but the boat here matches the boat that is on Bart's or the Simpsons his dad's page. Okay, that black boat. He privated his page, but someone had already gone through and gotten pictures from his page. So this is when the two boats were by each other. Now, it seems to be a lot of people. And this guy here was counting 8 people. Which 8? So was it 8 on the Simpson man's boat? Okay. Because what y'all are looking at. But someone seemed like from a distance had captured this shot. And I don't know if they knew that they were being, captured, in my opinion. Yep, new character unlocked. This is crazy. The civil case would trigger criminal after evidence is revealed. Yeah. So Ben Crump would get a second round. That's true. It could be. Yep. Names are slowly leaking. Okay. It will. Yeah, you've been saying that. HGY say you still live. I'm about to get off. Look, everybody kept telling me go listen to this video. So then we went and listened to the video. Lo and behold, we done connected another dot we didn't know about. Okay. But I'm glad I got some witnesses in the chat that be clocking stuff too. Hey, Tim. Yeah, no life jackets. Okay. Didn't it just give us some more questions? It did. It did. Yes. We really are. And we just coming up on this, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we were minding our business in our conversation yesterday. Not talking about, I think we just talking about the girls or something on the boat. Somebody came into the chat yesterday and dropped a first and last name and said that person was there. So, yeah, HGY, do you remember? So I didn't really say too much and draw too much attention to it. I just remember writing a note in my little journal. And if I had it, I would look at it right now to verify. But I remember it started with a B. And if I'm not mistaken, it was this first name that we are now seeing popping up on this audio. Now, this audio was not being circled, or this part definitely wasn't released yet. Yesterday morning when that person came in there, unless they had seen, I don't know if they had seen it somewhere, but they gave a first and last name. That's the key right there. So I got to go back and look at my notes because it was a first and last name. Yes. And I was like, let me just write this down just in case, something comes of it. And lo and behold, We see a new first name in this audio. Wow. Right. You could tell it wasn't syncing. I've been saying that, Alicia. All we have to do is just sit back and watch. Why? They are definitely going to start turning on each other and leaking information. Who's going to do it first is the question. Yes. I don't know why this pic, I feel they're transferring his body here. Allegedly, they're all looking in that direction. That's what I'm wondering. They're not looking like they're just all having fun dancing or something like that. It looks like they're focused on something and doing something, and somebody caught a picture of it that I don't think that they knew about. Okay, see, they got the close-up picture. Oh, here, take our picture. Do show it that we on the phone, that we standing here, we're sinking. Okay, but did y'all bank on somebody being over there with the other boats and they done took a picture of both boats together? Okay, come on now. This is a different angle. I don't know who, but this picture was leaked. Okay. Okay, can y'all explain this picture? The investigators need to be trying to find all these people that they can identify on these two boats in this moment. And what were they doing? What were they doing right here? Okay, whose boat did Nolan get on? Yes, exactly, the highest point. You screenshotted that yesterday? Okay, because it was a first and last name. I'm glad y'all think like I do. Okay, come on now. Oh, dude, it would. Hey, you like being Crump, my Lord. Crump the clapper, and he says, "My Lord," a lot. Someone's afraid to go home. Yeah, that's what I heard too. What? I ain't got time to do that right now, the highest point, but we can on another live. Yes, exactly. Somebody is looking down. They're all focused on something in this moment. I want to know who took this photo. That's my question. If the boat, 8 people was taking on water, why not stay on? I think when we heard that, I think it was coming from the other boat. I think that boat probably had more people on it. I think it was some of that background is coming from the other boat. Remember, his buddy came on his boat, 24 college kids, who claimed he rode on the tide line, he said in the first interview. Hey, Walt, these boats look like an active crime scene. Okay. Who's afraid to go home? Right. He said the boat was sinking. Yeah, right. It was not. Justice for Nolan. My Lord, today. Okay. I hear him using that a lot. Like if they're saying something at the press conferences, he say, my Lord. That's all I got for y'all right now. My Lord. Okay, we're going to find out, child. This is crazy work. Now, see, why y'all got me listening to that? Now my brain is going, and I got to go wait till I get my notes. Because I got to see with my own eyes. That person's name came up yesterday morning. This was before any of this. Okay. Yeah. If so, that's a lot of witnesses. Right. Exactly. Like, this is crazy. Now, y'all already know, okay, with that audio, y'all already know that they're going to say that that's fake. A lot of people are not going to believe it. Y'all just making up stuff. That's fake. That's AI. Y'all adding stuff. How come we ain't heard that before? You all get ready for it. Just go ahead and get ready. We already know it's coming. Okay. One of the girls, I think, said they were scared to go home. That's what it sounded like. Now, why are you scared to go home, though? Okay. What's supposed to happen at home? Child, they done got y'all tied up into some mess. And it sounds like somebody said a fight. Okay. Right, the highest point. I'm like, now y'all done got me. My mind is going. I'm going to be thinking about this. Okay. I'm like, no, wait a minute. What did we just hear? Because I'm about to go back and listen again. Okay, he's hiring the best audio engineers. Yes, hopefully so. Someone said I did it. So we can remove Wyatt since he was on the phone. Right. Now, was that a girl or I got to go back and listen. Was that a girl or a guy that said that? Oh my gosh. Wow. That's what I saw asking earlier. How is it that there are no pics from inside the boat? Yes, exactly. No one took a picture there. Yeah, he said it yesterday. He kept saying it, my Lord. At this point, they are accomplices, not witnesses. Ooh, woo. Okay. How deep did they get into this investigation is what I want to know. All right, y'all. So we will reconvene later. Thank you all so much for tapping in on today. Shout out to the mods in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It is for free. If you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, Cash App, or buy a coffee. Those links are in the description field of this video. Also, special shout out to the replay gang. Thank you for joining as well. You would also don't forget to hype up the video, subscribe, and hit that bell because you never know when I'm going to go live. Yes, okay, sinking with no life jacket, y'all. Okay, and shout out to LaQuinta. Thank you for the flower. I appreciate that. Thank you, old dude. I love you all. Y'all have a blessed Friday. Until next time. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.